Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about my indie MMO that I'm making, Adventures Guild Online. Today we're going over the races and how they're going to work in the game and the two distinct races that you have to choose from, and then the corresponding clans within those races. So we have the two distinct races, the mortals or the humans. Basic humans, they excel at magic and anything that has to do with magic. Of course, they can be built. The game is very customizable. So if you want a physical based human, that is perfectly fine and viable and should work with the systems I'm creating. Then we have the Lordians. They have a rich history. They are a custom race of mine. I put a lot of history and backstory into them, as well as the mortals of my game as well. They have a lot of history, but essentially they are born from dragons. They have dragon blood in them, so their magic is limited in a certain way. Basically, if you choose a normal Lordian non-clan, you choose one element to choose from: fire, water, earth, wind, and you cannot take any magic outside of that element or any other elemental magic, I should say. So you pick a fire Lordian, you cannot get water magic tree, a wind magic tree, or an earth magic tree, but you can still use something called neutral magic or healing magic per se. So anything that is there's going to be a basic magic tree that just has basic magic attacks. You're free to take that skill tree, and healing magic as well. You're free to take that skill tree. But if you are a Fire Lordian, of course you have enhanced fire abilities and you have an enhanced fire tree as well. So with that being said, I will kind of go through how this works. So as you can see here, we have the race name. Of course, that's the name, the icon. So when you're choosing the race, we can have the icon displayed there. And then stats template. So each race has different starting stats. Obviously, this can influence you a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, you will be able to upgrade your stats as you level. So it's not the craziest thing in the world. Also, potions, buffs, transformation abilities, and what else was there? And I'm sure there's a plethora of other enchantments. That's what it was. Enchantments on your weapons will also raise your stats. So starting stats will probably be important in the beginning, but as the game progresses and you build your character, probably not so much. So it's not a locked in choice. I guess for you min maxers out there, I'm sure that will be everything to have that +1 to your strength at the end of your build. But sure. In any case, how the clans work. So when you choose a clan, it'll just be like this. It's a data container. I don't think I'm going to make it so that the clans are within the race data container. I think I can just make it a whole new race, and then for the choices, it'll line up underneath that clan. So clans are essentially going to be the holy trinity. We have a lot of choice in this game, a lot of choice of what skill trees to get, a lot of choice of what stats to upgrade and what skills to take, etc. And I know that can be really, really daunting on a new player if you just give them all these choices and they're like, what do I choose? What do I do? I don't know. And I don't want that. That can be antithesis to fun. And I would like my game to people to have the most fun as possible. And I don't want you to have to look up a video just to start playing the game. So if you choose a clan, it gives you less KP, which means less choices and skills from the beginning, but you get a specialized skill tree in one aspect of tank, healer, damage. So, for example, I have the Sash clan. So the Sash clan is a Lordian based clan. So they are from the Dragon people. So their stat template will be kind of the Lordian stat template to start. Maybe a little adjustments depending on the clan, but essentially they are a tanking clan. And what their main gimmick is they manipulate Sash. So sash being like a cloth-like substance, they're able to create it at will and create a nice armor around themselves. And as you level up their skill tree, this armor, you'll be able to toggle on buffs on the armor. So let's just say you put the armor on and you are facing fire enemies. You can toggle a buff on that to make your armor fire resistant. So it's like summoned overlay on your character, a summoned armor on your character that you can change the defensive properties of. So they may not be the most damage DPS skill class, but you still will have KP left over. It's not like you have 0 KP just because you took a clan. You still will be able to specialize into a weapon and some magic types, but you can always fall back on your clan skills and be a very tanky character. And then we have something like the Phoenix clan, which I believe they are a human-based clan and they will be healers. So those that being a healing clan, obviously the whole Phoenix, the rebirth, you'll be able to put specialized healing from those skill trees. And once you choose a clan, those skill trees that the clan gives you, you can't get them anywhere else. So you can only get them from starting in that clan. That's the whole point of it. It's like they're your clan based abilities and they will help you navigate that. We also are going to have a rebirth system. So if you decide, hey, I'm going to go with a clan because it's a lot easier to understand healer tank support role, and I can just choose what clan fits that role best, and they'll be in the tooltips as well and description of the clan. It'll say this clan is best for blank. So that'll be easier to let them navigate that as well. And with that being said, I think with the races, it's more so just kind of a immersion thing also. I wanted the races to be immersive, so we have the Kitsune clan, which I talked about in my last video, and they will have cat ears and a tail as well. So that'll kind of be their little immersion. And then the mortals are kind of like the jack of all trades, just like they are in all games, where you have a little bit, if you choose base mortal, no clan, you'll have a little bit more starting KP. So you'll be more versatile. Obviously, you won't be as strong as the half dragon people. They obviously will specialize in constitution and kind of strength, not by a lot, but by enough. And they'll favor those builds, if that makes sense. Well, humans kind of favor getting a lot of skills and being magical. With that being said, if you guys have any more questions about the races, leave me some comments. Also, my Discord is always open for anyone who's coming from the Discord or joins the Discord. You can ask me any questions there. But that's just a little tidbit about the races of the game and how they'll be set up, how the stat templates works, and also we have here the starting skill trees. So this is how we kind of get the default starting skills of any race. I'll see you guys the next time, and thank you for watching.